Alright guys, so today on OrdoAirsoft we're going to look at some different airsoft barrels. And if you guys haven't gotten into the airsoft barrel world in a while, there's a variety of different barrels you can choose from. We have tight bore barrels, wide bore barrels, and today we're just going to look at just a few barrels and what you could be looking for in a barrel when you get a new airsoft gun. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about today is barrel length. So as you can see, we have a variety of different barrel lengths here. We do have a 509 barrel here, quite long. And with barrel length, you have to remember that the longer the barrel is, the more FPS you're going to get out of it. And also, it's theorized that the longer the barrel is, the more accurate your gun is. We haven't really found that to be as true, but barrel length certainly has an effect on FPS. So if you're shooting right at 400 with your 300 barrel and you switch to a 509 millimeter barrel, you might be actually shooting over, because especially if you're switching from a standard size barrel to a tight bore, the increase in FPS can be significant. So with length, obviously, if you get a barrel that protrudes from the end of your gun, you're going to have to get a suppressor, some sort of fake suppressor obviously, to cover up your barrel. So that's one of the factors to consider. Also, you want to make sure the end of the barrel doesn't wobble, because if it does, that could cause inaccuracies. So one of the things we do is we like to shim the end of our barrel, which we're going to show how to do that in another video. So that's just one of the things to keep in mind. Alright, so we covered barrel length. Another thing is barrel diameter, or the inside barrel width. So with barrel width, you have to keep in mind the BB is 6 millimeters. So for example, right here at 0.01, that means the inside of the barrel is 6.01 millimeters, which means there's a 0.01 millimeter gap between the BB and the barrel. So there's barrels that you can go as low as 0.00, so the barrel is exactly 6 millimeters. We don't like to do that, because if you get slight intolerances in your BB, the BB can get jammed. So typically AAGs will come with a 0.03 inner barrel, which is considered middle of the road. And by getting a tight bore barrel, which is considered a 0.02 or below, it can actually increase your FPS and it'll increase your consistency. Another thing about barrels is the material it's made out of. So we have these three on the bottom are made out of brass. This one's made out of steel, so it's significantly heavier. And this one right here is made out of aluminum. So this, even though it's the longest barrel, it's actually the lightest barrel out of all of these barrels. Every airsofter has their barrel that they prefer for materials. Some people like brass, some people like the steel. Typically, an airsoft gun will come with a brass barrel. We haven't really found anything wrong with brass. It's just that it is a little bit heavier. We do like the aluminum just because it is so light, but the barrel material doesn't really play too much of a role in the BB flight. With some of the higher quality barrels, you can polish the inside of the barrel to have less imperfections. So one example of a higher quality barrel would be one of these PDI barrels. The barrel's not in the box right now because it was in one of our guns, but PDI is a great brand. A little bit more middle of the road brand would be this Matrix right here. Matrix makes good stuff. Mad Bull also makes really good barrels. A little bit higher up than Matrix, in our opinion. Everyone's opinion will differ when it comes to barrels, but these are just some of the stock barrels that we've got with our AEGs. It's going to be brass. I've never seen one of these break. Sometimes they'll come with little extras like this O-ring right here for better air seal, and you're going to find notches are differently cut on each one of these. So you can see this one, I believe it's a Mad Bull, slightly more angular cut right there. And you just have to keep this in mind. If you are going to go for a flat hop or an R hop, you're going to have to cut it specifically for that barrel. So if you do decide to go with one though, I would recommend a type bore if you're going to flat hop or R hop it. One thing that we did for this PDI barrel right here, instead of cutting the R hop, we bought a Elvish tack R hop, and which is already pre-cut for that exact barrel. So right out of the box, it fits precisely. That way we don't have to worry about cutting it wrong and potentially ruining your materials. So I would recommend that. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's good if you're going for a high accuracy type setup. And one other thing with barrels is cleaning them. So if you have an AEG, sometimes you're just going to get grease and stuff that builds up in the barrel over time, especially after a long weekend of playing. And you are just going to want to run some sort of a barrel brush or a rag through there, a small strip of rag obviously, and just get all that stuff out so you don't lose your consistency. With HPA setups, we haven't really noticed any buildup of gunk in the barrel. You're always welcome to look, but with our HPA guns, we never really clean the barrel. There's never really a use for it just because it is so clean. So let us know what you guys have for a barrel in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.